We're here today on May the 2nd. Um, I'm Suzanne Moore, County Librarian, and I have my adult service manager here joining us today, Mara Lynn.
Yeah.
Mara Lynn,
Glad to be here.
we have our
We
tea.
have our tea.
Iced tea, hot tea.
There you
Whatever
go.
kind of beverage, right? But it's tea at 2 time, and we have lots to tell you about. Last month we changed up the format. Instead of just listing every activity on the calendar, we're going to highlight a few, but we mainly want to discuss what we're reading. We're reading all kinds of cool things, so we're going to kick it off with the books that we're reading this month, and movies because I want to start with this weekend.
The first thing is Saturday.
Yay!
Yeah.
Saturday. We always have a film at the cinema, Two River Cinema at 1 o'clock. It's free. And this month we're watching The Bourne Identity. That program is called Keeping It Real. Yes, the Marlene show.
All the best movies start with a good book.
Definitely. I always say, have you read a good movie lately? Start with a book and watch the movie. But it's not a requirement. If you're just a movie watcher, just come out in front of the film and watch the movie.
And it's because it's Robert Ludlum's birthday.
Definitely. Robert Ludlum. And isn't his birthday today?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, no, I'm off. His birthday. Well, look at my glasses. His birthday is not his second. Last month, Hans Christian Andersen was on April 2nd. Today is May 2nd. His birthday is May 25th, and we're celebrating Ludlum, the author of The Bourne Identity, with his book and movie.
So 1 o'clock Saturday, Two Rivers, the place to be.
Have you read this before?
Yeah.
Do you have any?
I read all those Bourne books once upon a time.
I'm in the middle of the book. I've seen the film. It's an oldie. It's a great film. It's an action thriller, CIA thriller thing. But let me tell you something about Ludlum. It's his birthday. We have these little brochures you pick up at the library as a reminder, just keeping a record. But I didn't know this about him. He was once a librarian. Yeah. It says that he entered into the Marines as a private, and while he was in the Marine Corps, he worked as a librarian. He has written 27 thriller novels, and a number of those books, The Bourne Identity, they're in several languages, and they're estimated to be about 300 million to 500 million books in print. 33 languages, 40 countries. He has a couple of pseudonyms. I didn't know that. Jonathan Ryder and Michael Shepard. They are all one and the same. Robert Ludlum is also goes by those two different names.
Okay,
anyway.
Now look at this. See, he's got his collar turned up. This is like Black Ops stuff.
Yeah, right.
I hate to say it, but if he was a librarian in the Marines, he wasn't doing what he writes about.
No.
He's writing about much more exciting things.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Than just library stuff. But
yeah. He said
these are great stories.
Yeah, he said that he tried to join the Marines, but he was underage, and so he forged his mother's signature. And here's a quote. You want to read the quote? It's right here. Okay.
You want me to see something? Okay. Let's see. Hope is the only thing stronger than fear. A little hope is effective. A lot of hope is dangerous. A spark is just fine as long as it's contained.
Okay.
All right. Well, he might need to tell Jason Bourne that because, all these movies, he's still surviving. Now, if you marry Jason Bourne, you might not survive. That's just spoiler alert. But anyway.
Anyway, we're really looking forward to having the conversation about Jason Bourne, the Bourne Identity. I'm going to jump the week in the calendar just to mention.
Okay.
We start off every first Saturday with a film. It's Keeping It Real. So you can, you've been reading the book. Now you're watching the movie. And, I mentioned this book was the highlight last month, so you can get a head start on that. But come out and visit us at the branch for our reading trap conversation on the Bourne Identity. That is on the second Thursday at noon at the branch library out in Trap Hill. So, any information there? Okay,
Okay,
So-
what's next?
what's next?
What to read for the next reading draft?
Well,
No, we're gonna talk about
we're
Saturday.
we gotta
Saturday,
continue,
we're not done with Saturday.
we're not done with Saturday yet, we're still
Ooh.
on, May the 4th. May the 4th be with you, Star Wars.
Okay, I'll hold that.
And also, it just happens to be Free Comic Book Day. Now, Free Comic Book Day isn't always on May the 4th, but it is always on the first Saturday. So it just so happens this first Saturday is a double whammy. So we're having a costume contest in the library. You can come and dress up as a Star Wars character. I'm sure we'll see some Princess Leia's running around.
Some comic book superheroes.
Or you could be a superhero,
Or you could be a nerd. You can always be a nerd.
Yeah, Clark Kent, he looks like a nerd underneath there. Superman. Right? So, yeah.
But the comic book day is happening also at our neighbor, a block over. What is it, Heroes Clash?
Heroes Clash Collectibles. Yes, but they are giving away free comic books at their store.
Yep.
So we have lots of these Marvel books for kids. We have DC Comics and things like that that you can check out. And they're really cool with your library card. So, there's Captain America.
All reading levels, all different kinds of reading.
Definitely, but we're just highlighting something for the children because I know how exciting it is. Actually, one day I came in the library. I wish I had the photo to share, and I saw a Jedi posing for me. A little kid was dressed up just like that. It was so cute. Remember that day?
Yeah.
So check us out if you can drop by, or definitely on social media to follow and share about this cool stuff that's happening Saturday.
The movie 1:00 at the cinema. I don't know. We'll have to check the calendar. Or you welcome to check the calendar.
Yeah.
Don't miss out on the costume contest because even if you don't want to participate, it's so much fun
Definitely.
to see people dressed up. And it won't be just kids either. I hate
Yeah,
to say that.
you know,
We got grown-ups that love to dress up.
definitely.
Yeah.
We had a fairy day yesterday.
Yeah, we were. The whole library is full of fairies.
Down here,
All different
we got more costumes parties in the works, but I'm gonna kick it off now to next
see.
week. We said the reading trap with the Born Identity
Okay,
is
We're through Saturday.
mhm.
Now we're going into the next week, and
But start off with the reading trap still because
Okay.
it's Thursday
Oh,
before
yeah.
you.
let's hold up all the different ones.
We got lots of things.
This is the read for next month for
Okay.
June.
Every second Thursday at noon, right? You got a couple
Okay.
there? So we celebrate a different author's birthday every month. So next month we're going to celebrate Barbara Pym's birthday, and we're reading her book Excellent Women, and we have it in mass market trade paper
Hardback, audiobook.
and they're all different covers. So we just
And
wanted
so you don't have to read these 4 books.
it's the same story with different covers. I just like that idea to show you all the different covers.
It's a story that's been around a while, so it's had a chance to survive a lot of different designs.
Right? And I do have a book club members review. I don't think you'll care if I share, but we have one faithful book club member who travels from Ashe County to join us. Gerhart wrote his impression on Excellent Women. Now he's already completed the story, and he just shared a little blurb for me. So it says, this is about a typical British life of a spinster whose main occupation is to work for the church and try to better the lives of her fellow rectors and acquaintances. And everyone assumes that she's going to marry the vicar. But that does not jam out. The vicar is well taken care of by his sister, but they do have to adapt because where they live in the flats, they have to share one bathroom. I'm like, that must be a comedy point in this story. When you read and find out.
Yeah.
But it's very English, and he says it's an easy read. So this is the one that we're reading in June. You might want to pick up your reading guide and check out a book now so you have a head start on it.
So Barbara Pym's birthday is in June.
In June, right.
So we're celebrating her.
Yes, we celebrate birthdays of our authors every month. Now, we're going to go to the next one on the list.
If you're not aware of it yet, we have another book club here at the library called Talking Service Book Club. I should have brought the poster for that. But anyway, we meet on the second Friday mornings in a meeting room downstairs at 10 o'clock. And we stay together. Usually it's an hour, but so help me. sometimes I have to, I try to ask a quizzical thing and try to get a laugh, but it's also a chance just for them to get together because I'm not a veteran, but I cherish what veterans have done for us and what they keep doing for us. But anyway, this book right here got started a long time ago by the Great Books Foundation because they wanted to put together something so that there would be discussion points and nobody gets put on the spot. Nobody has to do any great confessing for anything. But standing down from warrior to civilian, and it's about the transition for when you leave the service and you're coming back to the States and you're no longer in country, you're out of there and you're back here, and there's a hard transition. And we've got Vietnam veterans in our group that have all different experiences with that, but they all agree that was one of the hardest things they've ever had to do.
And another thing is, you don't have to be a veteran to come to the group. It's open to anyone that has the desire to learn and understand more about.
Have an interest in the military at all.
Yeah, and you know, there's like active duty or family members or caretakers or just anyone can come.
Or grandkids.
Right.
Whatever. But know that this book has 40 selections in it. So that's why it's got a lot of give and taking on next Friday. When will that be? The 10th. On the 10th, we're going to talk about guests of the nation. And the cool thing is this book contains stories from all different campaigns. They're all about mostly Americans, but they're also about journalists. And they're about this. This was about a fellow who was in the Irish Republican Army in the very beginning, to the point that he was in jail, and when he got out, he changed his name and signed up to serve. So it's just a short little story. It's just a few pages. But that's most of the time we don't tackle something big, but the issues are big. Well, so it's fun to talk about them.
Marlon, she does a great job of sending out the reminders and a little, you know, jump start to what the story conversation will be, and you can pick up these books which we were able to give to share. We got some grant funding to start the program, and she's been keeping it going, and so we have books available if you'd like to.
The other thing is, if you just want to call the library and say, I want to sign up to hear from that Talking Service group, the book Talking Service Book Club, then just share your email address and I'll put you on the list.
Definitely.
And that way you'll be reminded when the second Friday is coming and what we're reading. And I even send out a scan of this so that
if you don't have the book, you have a piece of the book, so you can, you know, get ready for the conversation that way.
Yeah. So everybody's invited. Just all you have to have is interest.
It's very interesting. I love the
discussions are great.
They are. That's one of my favorite things is talking about books, reading and talking about things and hearing different points of view. Yep. It's all good.
Okay.
All right, next one.
Another book club that we have here at the library is I just call it the Library Book Club to make it different from all these other reading groups that are in Wilkes County. So the library one, you know what's happening in a couple of weeks. We've got the All-Star race back again in Wilkes. Mm-hmm. The North Wilkesboro Speedway is all ramped up again. But we're reading St. Dale, which is not meant to be a joke, but it's comical. And so Sharon McCrum, she's one of the best storytellers that North Carolina has ever grown up. Yeah. And her stories, she wrote those series of ballad books. One of her best ones that we can relate to is the one about Tom Dooley.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. So she wrote about Tom Dooley. And so St. Dale is a story about a little pilgrimage that happened because after Dale Earnhardt, unfortunately and tragically and violently, passed away at Daytona 500 in 2001, there's a pilgrimage of followers of Dale, and on the same bus going around to racetracks and to the Dale Earnhardt, where he worked on his motorsports garage. Anyway, some of them know details, some of them could care less. They got drug along. There's something in this book for everybody, and it's a fun read. If you've got any inkling of what it's like, this isn't about like what it's like to be a driver, but the leader of the pilgrimage was a NASCAR driver.
Oh, cool.
So it's fun. And Wilkes County is mentioned in here over and over and over again, not just because of Junior,
Because of
yeah,
the speedway,
because
the racing.
in fact, there's a line in here, I wish I could find it and quote it for you, but it just says, in Wilkes County, Junior does not mean Dale Jr. Junior means Mr. Johnson. So we know this.
Yes.
But it's a good story. And even if you're not particularly interested in the NASCAR life, this kind of explains it for that neighbor of yours that's a little crazy about NASCAR. This will help you have something to talk about with your neighbor. We have plenty on, I've got it
21st.
right here.
The 21st.
I put a little reminder note in here.
Yes.
So May 21st, 4 o'clock in the meeting room downstairs.
Aren't your book
Okay.
clubs always on the third Tuesday? We
4
have
o'clock.
we have a pattern, and so we're trying to keep these in order for you.
Yeah.
Now, the 22nd is a special program that we're holding here in the library. Recently, we were able to install a free Narcan vending machine with funding that the county supplied from the opioid settlement grant. Now, that is outside the library. It's on our 10th Street entranceway,
Right up there.
right out the back here. And it just dispenses Narcan and fentanyl test strips. There's some Narcan.
So that you know what it looks like.
It's a nasal spray to help with reversing an overdose. We don't want anyone to have harm to,
It's a life saving. It is absolutely a life saving
and
medication that would be expensive. In the very beginning, it used to have to be issued to law enforcement and to emergency medical folks and hospitals. But now they've made it a nose spray. It's not a shot. It's a nose spray. And there's 2 doses in every box. If you know somebody or if you cross paths with anybody that could potentially just, if it's in your mind that you could save a life by having this on you, with you, then you can have
it's a precaution to keep in hand in case of an emergency. You never know, like, what kind of medications how you might react, or if you are struggling with substance use disorder. We want you to get help. We want you to stay alive first and foremost. Right. And so this is available. We, again, got funding from our county, but a lot of questions have arisen, and people want to understand a little bit more about it. So we're planning a lunch and learn on May 22nd.
Yeah, it'll be noon, May 22nd. We want you to call and let us know you're coming. So just call the library and say, I want to come to that overdose prevention lunch, and we'd love to have you, because there's a reason Wilkes County got that opioid settlement money.
Yeah. And
it's because we have lots of citizens, and they are Wilkes County citizens, people you know that are at risk. And we've lost a lot of nice people to overdose. But that's not, we're going to just talk about Wilkes County. We're not going to talk about this big global overwhelming issue. We're going to try to bring it home so that you know why we have that machine out front. And yeah, you'll learn.
We're going to have some special guests to visit with us from Wilkes Recovery Revolution and from the Health Foundation, and part of our crisis intervention team that's going to kind of help us understand the whole issue and how it affects us here and what we can do to be proactive. And we're giving away some books. Now, these are just some copies. We've got one other too that's on order.
Yeah, these are library books.
These you can borrow, but we're gonna have some giveaways for the luncheon. So Beth Macy, she's got Raising Lazarus, and that definitely is a follow-up to Dope Sick, but about how America is responding to the overdose crisis.
Yeah, our copy of Dope Sick was checked out, but when it came out, it broke down a lot of barriers. It helped explain how she ran across, Beth Macy was a reporter in Virginia, and she ran across a story where 5 top members of the senior class all had terrible problems with addiction and then overdose. Yeah. And so 5 class members all passed away in the same couple of years. And so what she found out and what she researched was a compelling story, and then this is only 2 years old, and Raising Lazarus is talking about how she followed up with that story. And in Raising Lazarus, they talk about Surrey County, they talk about Hickory, and they talk about how success, how it's working. Some of this opioid settlement money is helping fund ways to keep people alive and to help them fight what they're addicted to.
And I want to mention something while we're talking about Raising Lazarus.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to Project Lazarus here in Wilkes County. Our first year of this settlement money, we got the funds for the machine, the vending machine. That was a big expense, but also to have special educational programs and add books to our collection and help people understand. That was part of the program support funding. But the first batch of inventory came from Project Lazarus, and they're supplying that for us. So hopefully we'll be able to sustain that further for you.
You want to tell them what else is in the machine about this?
There are fentanyl test strips in the machine. Fentanyl, what I'm aware of, I'm learning about this too, is a synthetic drug, a synthetic opioid of some kind. Yeah. But it's very, very potent and powerful, and just a little bit can put you in an overdose. So these test strips will help you test your medications to see how strong they are, and if that is present.
If the fentanyl, if it's been cut with it, the risk is very great.
Definitely.
That you'll take too much.
Yeah, we don't want that to happen.
Okay.
And tell her a little bit about this.
Okay, now, Demon Copperhead, I just did the latest New York Times bestseller. Demon Copperhead was on the bestseller list from the minute it came out, probably because Barbara Kingsolver is very popular. So what you got to know is this is about a young man named Damon. Is it Damon or Damien?
Damien?
Yeah. Anyway, and it's about he's a redhead. He starts out life with an addicted mother, and from there, this takes it through all his life until he gets to be a grown man. But it just shows life in a remote part of, I think it's West Virginia. Or is it Virginia? But anyway, Barbara Kingsolver is one of the best storytellers around.
It's really, it's
between
really
Sharon Crum and Barbara Kingsolver, we're having a good month for storytellers.
Yeah.
But this helps explain how somebody that you think would have it made, and Demon Copperhead did not have it made, but he was overcoming all these other things like being an orphan. He was more or less an orphan. And what happened was, it'll explain how somebody with all the advantages and all the smarts in the world can still become addicted to opioids.
And it's like a cycle, a generational cycle as well. You know, his family was trying to overcome and break through that. So we're going to have copies of this to give away. If you haven't read it yet, which a whole lot of Americans have read this book. It's a powerful book. It's been on the, like you said, on the top bestsellers list for over a couple of years. Yeah, a couple of years. And this is our large print edition. But anyway, it's not about a snake or the devil or anything like that. It's about a kid, and a kid who's growing up, and a kid who's a football star, you know. And it's just like a simple football injury. You know, you get prescribed some medication to overcome the pain from something, like a tooth being pulled or a football injury, and then it turns into something that's out of control. And how do you get back? And and it's and that's why we have an opioid settlement, is because what Beth Macy found out, what Stephen found out, is that the kids were being prescribed this stuff because doctors were told that it was not habit forming. Yeah. So it was shovelfuls of these pills were given out. So that's why there's a settlement from the manufacturer of pills. Okay, but anyway, it's not sad. It's a good story. It's good. So I hope you take the time to enjoy that sometime. Come and join us for the Lunch and Learn. Again, the 22nd of May. That's on a Wednesday at noon. And call up and let us know if you can make it so we can make sure to have enough food to feed you. Okay, then 2 days later. 2 days later. This is my
Okay.
favorite thing. Well, I
Yes,
have a
it
lot of
is.
favorite things, but this flyer describes a little bit. I know it's a little bit. I know. Hang on, I got a call coming in. We'll have to put it on ignore. And
Yeah,
catch a
we're ignoring
message.
phone calls.
Catch a
Till we
message.
get finished
Yeah,
talking to
we
you.
gotta talk to y'all first. But this is to promote Bob Dylan's birthday. Now the birthday is the month of May.
Okay.
He will be 83 on the 24th. We've got all sorts of books that you can borrow from
And
the
he's
library.
on tour.
He's also
He's
doing,
gonna be
yeah,
on tour this summer.
he's on tour with
And
Willie
Willie
Nelson.
Nelson's 90 years old.
No, 91.
91.
He just turned 91.
So we got these, we got old fellas doing all kinds of miraculous things in 2024.
It's crazy, right?
Like running for office.
We
got Bob and we got
Bob and Willie on tour together, but it's Bob's birthday, so we're planning a special night to celebrate his birthday with music, trivia, open mic, karaoke, and a costume party. Now, what do you mean by a costume party? Are you gonna dress up like Bob? You might have to look, right? Just mess your hair up a little bit and put on some dark glasses. You can be Bob, or you can be a character from one of his songs. I always say the easiest one to do, if you got some cowboy boots, you can be wearing your boots of Spanish leather, one of my favorite songs. Here's another one, a song, If Not For You, that was a great song of his from the 60s. And
he wrote a children's book.
He made that song into a children's book, and I love that. This is, what is this, a graphic novel, kind of?
No, that's about music.
That's his music. Okay, I thought it had like pictures on the cover.
Yeah, we've got, you wouldn't believe how many rock stars, and poetic rock stars, too. How many have told their, have Bob autobiography on our shelves right outside.
And Bob is a Pulitzer Prize winner.
Yes.
So, he's a poet.
How many Grammys and how many Lifetime Achievement Awards?
He's
really.
even in films. You never know where you're going to find Bob Dylan. He's not just a singer-songwriter, but he's also an actor and an artist, and he does welding. I'm going to give away all the clues to the trivia contest. You got to come and find out about it. Yeah, I'm going to stop talking about all the things that because I want you to do a little research or just come and learn. That's the fun of it all. But we're going to have a trivia contest. We're going to have prizes for the costumes and the trivia.
This is a chance to be in the library after hours.
It's a Friday night from 6 to 8. We normally close at 5 o'clock. So come on down and visit us after hours. And
it's on the 24th.
One thing I want to say about Bob Dylan, one of his songs and one of my favorite things is Country Pie. He has a song called Country Pie, and he names every kind of pie out there: strawberry, raspberry, lemon, apple, every kind of pie. So I thought we should have a pie buffet. We're gonna have some goodies. You can sample some pie. You can play some trivia games with us, and just enjoy the music. And like I said, you can bring your instruments and do an open mic set, or we've got some karaoke tracks if you want to choose a song to sing along with. You can sing it with yourself or with your friends. I'll be glad to sing it with you.
I know. What is it? Girl from the North Country.
Oh yeah, Girl from the North Country.
So anybody that went to Merle Fest last week, and I was playing the radio, Sam Bush, he sings that all the time, and he says it's because his wife was from North Kentucky.
Oh yeah,
he was from southern side of Kentucky. But Bob Dylan's songs have been recreated so many times.
Yep.
He kicked them off, and then they took a life of their own.
I've always wanted to have a party for Bob Dylan because I've been a follower of his music almost all my life, and I've heard that people do this nationally, internationally. They have this celebration every year in May for Bob Dylan. Well, this is my first Bob Dylan party, and we're throwing it, so you got to come out and join us. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Come for picking and grinning and all that good stuff.
Country Pie. Yeah, fun stuff.
And this one right here, she's been learning all the Bob Dylan songs to play.
I'm working on it.
Not just the words, but to accompany herself.
I'm trying to pick it up. So we want you to join us for that.
Yeah, so come inspire the county librarian just a little bit. We can have fun with that.
Yeah, it'll be fun. And Marlene, you got one last thing to finish up with?
Oh yeah, right after that.
There's still more to come, right? We're reading all this long. There's never There's so many books out there that you want to
Okay.
take your hands on.
So I'll show you kind of, if you've been seeing these around, it's the North Carolina Reads 2024. 3 years ago, the Humanities Council just in North Carolina decided to kick off a statewide book club. And they picked books that have a very strong North Carolina connection. And the one we have already talked about Daryl Hunt's story about Beyond Innocence. In March, it was Poster Girls. A couple of weeks ago, we talked about American Refuge, and those are two different professors, or the author is a professor at Guilford College.
Mm-hmm.
It was the immigrant story in North Carolina, and turns out Greensboro played a very important role, and they still do. Right.
And we have a melting pot here,
Yes,
working at our Tyson processing plant.
And that's mentioned.
And it's mentioned in the book, yeah.
County is in American Refuge. Well, we've got to cover this yellow, but this is called The Violin Conspiracy. It was a bestseller. It's only a couple of years old. And it's a story about, it was written by a music professor.
Mm-hmm.
So then he kind of takes a step back, and it's about a competitive young Black musician. And he discovers that his old family fiddle is actually a priceless Stradivarius.
Ooh.
So it's stolen right while he is, it happens right in the very beginning. First chapter, he realizes that his fiddle's been, well, not a fiddle, but it's been stolen.
Well, you know something.
He's got the case. He realizes it's empty when it's too late.
He's playing classical, so his terminology is violin. Okay. In case you didn't know the difference between a violin and a fiddle, do you know the difference?
It's just kind of music.
Well,
what is it?
A violin has strings. A fiddle has strings. It's got a twang, right?
So anyway, the heart of the story happens in Charlotte, and it's about it'll take you around the world. It'll take you through all kinds of pieces of music. It was very well received, and so we're going to talk about that on Wednesday, May the 29th. So go have a fun Memorial Day, mm-hmm. and come back on Wednesday, and we meet. And this is the cool part. Part of what the Humanities Council did was find authors that were available, kind of like the way we used to do books reads together. We always hosted the author, mm-hmm. to have a major discussion and to do a book talk. Well, all of these have had the authors available by live stream, so they're somewhere nearby, and we hook up into their a live stream Zoom. That's all it is. So we get to hear them live as if they're in the same room with us.
And if you read in advance and you have some question for the author, then we can type that into the chat. Yeah. Last time we were talking about American Refuge, and we were here in Wilkesboro, and they were talking about a story that happened to be someone from Iraq who is working at Tyson, and hey, that's where we live, so it's kind of cool to connect with them.
You're able to chime in, but so we've got that one to look forward to, and then just a heads up. If you've ever watched a lot of ESPN, you might know the name of Ryan McGee, and he's from North Carolina. And when he was a rookie reporter, he was stationed he worked in Asheville for the Asheville Tourist. So he wrote a book. It just came out last year, or 2022, about it says "Welcome to the Circus of Baseball." So we've got some copies of that coming out. And we're going to talk about that at the end of June.
Yeah, that'll be coming up. We'll remind you about June with our next Tea Talk.
So we're doing a kind of a sports thing right now, because we got the NASCAR race coming, and then baseball season got kicked off April 1st.
Yeah.
And we're going to have it going for the summer.
It's going to be cool. It's awesome. Like I said, there's so many books to read out there, and there's something for everyone. And even if you haven't read the book, we'd love for you to join us for the conversation. It's always inspiring, and it will just open up some doors in your mind and take you to new places, and you can travel. You can armchair travel.
we'll try to give you some good leads.
Definitely. We have the leads, right? If you need
Yeah,
to know
you
something
get the-
good, just tell us what you like and we'll find something that we can recommend. Well,
Alright.
thank you for joining us. I'm so happy to have Mara Lynn on.
we had a
Yeah,
good time.
we love to talk about books. We do this all the time. So chime in with us next month, every first Thursday at 1 o'clock. If you've read any of these books, you might want to join in. The Zoom room is open. We don't always have live participants, but a lot of people follow us on Facebook. So this is going to be posted for review on our YouTube channel, shared on our library social media sites. But we're inviting you to join us live next Thursday for tea at 2. Not next Thursday, next month, first Thursday, tea at 2.
Oh, Thursday. God,
We need some
there's
tea.
a lot of wind that came out of here lately.
Thank y'all. Have a great day.
Thank you.